I was born in San Jose, Costa Rica. I work a little there, you can say, like with the system in a normal life, and later I want to change my life.
Just to tell you about the Funky Green Man, he was developed in 1961, but only in East Germany. So after the unification of Germany, or reunification, sorry, they got rid of the Funky Green Man in the East. They put the boring stick men back, and the East Germans were like, no! He's called the Ample Man. They're like, no, give us our Ample Man back. We want him. We love him. My name is Espen. I was born in Wimbledon, near London, in England, and I've lived in Ireland for a long time, and in Italy, and now I live in Berlin. So they're like, okay, they protest and they put him back. And now this Ample Man, so the Funky Green Man and the Red Man with the fat, they both got hats on actually, he became a symbol of East Germany. And this symbol, you get it on mugs, you get on t-shirts, you get postcards, you get gummy bears, delicious gummy bears, better than normal gummy bears. And this is a trademark owned by a Western German. This is funny, symbol of the East, but owned by a Western German. This is after reunification. Basically the West just took over the East. I'm a tour guide. I tour around Berlin, the city centre. I also tour around Europe. It's seasonal work. But what little money I do make goes a pretty long way in Berlin. Rents are low, entertainment is cheap. There's lots of things that you can do for fairly little money in Berlin.
I motivate myself, you know, going alone precisely for it, you know. And from one moment to other, like I changed my life, then begin to make some art on the streets with metals and developing better and better. Until I begin to live, I say I need a passport. I begin to visit other countries now, very young now.
My two bands are based here in Berlin, the Gecko and Dish, and it's really a city where it has a very positive attitude, unlike perhaps London or Los Angeles. This is a city where people have a very live and let live kind of attitude. They help each other, especially in the music scene. The art scene here is really phenomenal. What I don't like in Berlin so much is the winter. It's pretty cold. And sometimes older Germans can have quite a restricted kind of attitude. But in that respect, Berlin is quite an exception in Germany. It's a very liberal city.
Treating with tourists normally or traveling people, no? Until this bring me to Europe, no, for helping a woman.
The social conscious of motherhood and childhood, I think it's more advanced here. And the women start to fight in the 70s about their right to be mother the way they want. And this, in comparison to Spain, we are it's not so advanced because of the dictator, and this process starts later. And for example, the right to decide where and how we want to give birth, and all the economical supports you get from the state just to take care of your child in the beginning, or all the system of kindergartens. Also in Berlin is very positive the possibility of bilinguality education that you have for your child. I'm really happy to have a Spanish-German kindergarten, a Spanish-German school where my child can really grow up being conscious of their double identity. I came here to write my project of the master I was studying in Barcelona, and it was I think it was a good compromise, just coming here 3 months, doing my practicum, writing my work about a cultural project called Hafen der Kulturen in Tempelhof in cooperation with the International Cultural Center UFA Fabrik.
Diese Veranstaltung heißt Madre Selva und findet jeden Montag statt in Blau Ateliers. Blau Ateliers ist ein Ort, wo gibt es über 50 Ateliers für Künstler in unterschiedlichen Richtungen, Akrobatik, Malerei, Fotografie. Ich bin Künstlerin, Tanzlehrerin und Tänzerin für orientalischer Tanz. Und ich arbeite hier in Berlin als Tänzerin, als Tanzlehrerin und auch jeden Montag organisiere ich mit Mecha, auch aus Argentinien, diese Veranstaltung. Es ist eine Tango Milonga und wo die Leute kommen zum Tango tanzen und ja, quatschen und ein bisschen wir bringen ein bisschen die argentinische Kultur mit.
I helped a woman with 2 kids of her that wasn't mine. She was remaining there quite strange, her life for the economy and not to control well Latin America, and I began to enjoy her.
Ich bin in Argentinien geboren und meine Eltern kommen aus Argentinien, aber meine Großeltern kommen aus Syrien. Und deswegen habe ich viel auch arabischen Einfluss und deswegen mache ich auch orientalischer Tanz als Beruf und auch diese Mischung mit Tango aus Argentinien, orientalischer Tanz, ja, und ich wohne in Berlin. Ja, und Berlin ist Multikulti.
U slačionici i tu oko Hertinim prostorijama mora isključivo da se priča nemački. Ja to baš malo i ne poštujem, ali tačno je da ima puno stranaca iz raznih delova i krajeva Evrope i sveta i međutim mi se odlično slažemo. Jezik nam je engleski uglavnom kao komunikacijono sredstvo. Nisam imao predstavu kakav je Berlin. Prvi put sam bio u Berlinu nikada nisam ranije bio pre nego što sam došao ovde sada u januaru i nisam ni zamišljao kakav je Berlin, pravo da vam kažem. I sada kada bi otišao, bi birao drugi klub, voleo bi da to bude negde na moru, pošto je ovde možda, eto, to mi fali, malo je hladnije vreme i često pada kiša. Ja bih voleo sad, ako moram negde da idem, da to bude neki grad koji je na moru. Baš sam rekao sestri kada mi je dolazila da mi donese slike Novog Sada da ih okačim po stanu i to sam i uradio i nekako Novi Sad mi je zaista u srcu i često razmišljam o njemu i nisam ni znao da mi toliko nedostaje, da sam toliko vezan za našu srpsku Atinu dok nisam došao ovde. Ne dopada mi se što na našem stadionu koji prima oko 77.000 gledalaca uvijek bude oko 35-40, nikada nije pun, nikada nisam osetio da bude pun stadion i to mi malo smeta i malo mi je žao što nisam još osetio onu pravu atmosferu kao što se, recimo, kao što je na našim dole stadionima kada su stadioni puni. Ovdje se uglavnom dolaze publika kao gledalci, a ne kao pravi vatreni navijači.
Louise Oudeklock and moved here to Berlin 7 months ago from Australia, from Sydney. And I'd been thinking of moving for a couple of years, actually, and I hadn't lived in Europe. My dad's half French, so my dad is French, so I'm half French, and I wanted to be back in Europe. So I came last year and I discovered Berlin and really fell for it, and then went back home, saved some money and moved here.
Let's see, well, there is a detail, not proper other things of Berlin that don't make me leave to visit other countries or to other country. It's proper because I already, in the time I have kids here.
I think I chose Berlin because it's, well, mainly for the creativity here. I just really felt there's like palpable energy here that's creative, and there's many young people, and we're all kind of, I think, trying to do something, and we need place somewhere that's open to experimentation. And all the people I've met so far, it's like everybody wants to collaborate with each other, which is a really beautiful spirit for me, which I missed from Australia. That was not really there. I'm working with second-hand clothes and embroidering text onto them, so it's like imagined conversations between garments, and which stand for people. And I've worked a lot with lately with gloves that I found in the street, and I'm putting them together, and like they're two little lost souls that find each other and they help each other. And there are kids' gloves, men's, women's, everything. And so today I'm kind of looking for shirts, because I'm also doing a whole series in the window of men's shirts, and the pocket is like where the heart is on the body, and so the words, I embroider words on the pockets, so it's like, for me it's like expressing what you carry in your heart, and all of us carry obviously many emotions in our heart, but so I'm going to do a whole series showing all the different emotions that I know I carry in my heart. There are things about Berlin that I'm not crazy about. It seems kind of harsh to say this, but for me, having grown up in Australia, and people are very relaxed and very friendly, and I do sense something. It's not so much, I mean, I find Berliners really friendly, I really do, but there is some kind of heaviness, a little bit of heaviness, I guess, which is very understandable considering the history here. I think Sydney for me it will always be in my heart, and I miss really the most, kind of the things that I crave about Sydney are nature, the ocean, the beaches, swimming. In summer I found it kind of hard here. I love the lakes, but it's not the same at all. I feel that salty water on your skin is something different. And there's something about the light in Australia, which is, because I'm also a photographer, so it's very, the light there is extremely harsh, but very beautiful and very bright, and the colours seem very intense, like everyone notices that. And when I'm in Europe, I'm immediately aware of the soft light, which I actually love. I really love this for my photography, but I can't help missing the other as well. It's just in my whole, the way I see the world.
In that time I came to Berlin after the D-Mark changed to the euro. Was a quite disaster, not even in the brain of people, no, because they didn't fix proper, no, the economical level, just everything get higher, no.
Feeling like this is my home. I feel at home here. Like I never felt maybe in the place I was born, Cambridge, England. I never felt where I studied, which was London. I always had a strange feeling. When I was older, 18, that I wanted to leave Cambridge, a small place, and London, a big city, twice the size of Berlin, bigger even, that it was never quite home, that everyone there was so busy, so distracted. And somehow in Berlin I feel like I found where I want to be. I'm working for a youth organisation, a partner organisation of a left-wing youth organisation I work for in Great Britain, where I come from originally, and came here last January. The weather wasn't so cold as it is now, but still cold, still new experiences. I didn't speak any German, and a strange new city. Every city has history, of course, but the way it's so alive here, you can feel the city on your skin. It's really always there. Every different area has its own specific character. Because of the historical development of Berlin, because of everything it's been through, it's very clear that Berlin doesn't have a city centre in the normal sense of a lot of cities, so London, Paris, Madrid. But for me, Boxhagener Platz, or Boxy as a lot of local people call it, is my centre of Berlin. And it's this great small square, a lot of nice cafes and restaurants around. Every Sunday they have a flea market there, and always a lot of punks and a lot of kind of funny, interesting people hanging out on this small, scruffy bit of grass in the middle.
Now I pretend proper to live out of German. I don't know which time I can take me for living out of German, but I pretend to live out of German quite for a longer time now.
Аз съм Тамара и живея от 5 години в Берлин. Завърших фармация и работя в момента в една аптека. Самия град е много различен. Всеки може да намери нещо, което му харесва. Хората са много отворени, няма бариера към чужденците. Ако излезеш вечер тук, не винаги можеш да се заговориш с случайни хора и да прекарате цялата вечер заедно. Това в България е съвсем нормално. За мен дори тия коледи, които съм имала тук последните 5 години, са ми, да не кажа, първите коледи, така празнувани. Традиционно, толкова традиционно. Празника Коледа тук е дори по-организиран и по-се празнува, отколкото вкъщи в България. Някакси факта, че всеки му липсва това нещо, така го прави този празник много, много хубав и тук, независимо, че не си със семейството си.
Politically, no, the democracy of this time try to go to the same route, and should be some similarities, no? Because the law for Latin America in general arrived from this country, and the power of Germany is, you can see it in all over the world, no? Yeah.
I really like the way people communicate in Berlin. There is really a strong exchange between people. Not only in my artistic field, but which is probably more international than usual, but in general, like on the street, I can really have communication with people, and that's something that I really have strongly in Rome. So somehow it makes me feel a little bit home here. Differently from Rome, here it is very alive, but very quiet as well. There is a sense of calmness that some people say that it's too much for them. For me, so far I've been liking it. And in Rome, where I come from, it's too chaotic, it's too unorganized, and it's too many things. Of course, I miss so much some good food and some really, yeah, the weather, some more sunny and warm weather. I moved to Berlin 1.5 years ago. I lived before that 5 years in Holland, and there I was studying dance and choreography and working as a dancer and as a music composer. Tonight we will perform the second and the last show in this Tanztage festival in the Theatre Sophienzelle. The show is called District, and it's by Hyun-Min Kim, and I'm doing the sound for it, and I'm doing it live on stage. And I've been collaborating with Hyun-Min since many years. This is the 3rd or 4th project we do together. And yeah, in this project it's a collaboration between Hyun-Min and Lena, and it's strongly connected to the Korean culture. And for this I'm just creating let's say a sound landscape.
It's one of the countries that are respecting more the humans' rights. Even in Latin America, and even you can compare it with countries of Europe that, well, is more quiet. And about other differences, no, for sure, that are logically, no, weather and things, attitudes of people already, normal people in town, no, are total different attitudes, no.
I come from a smaller town, not a small town, but a smaller town 2 hours far away from Berlin called Hanover. And before I finished school, I knew that I will come to Berlin. I was like 15 and I was sure that the day I finish my school, I will do everything to get here. And I'm happy about it. I think when I live in Germany, when I rest in Germany, this is a place where I will stay. Yeah, even if there are other beautiful cities, but Berlin has something else. Something, I would like to say magic if it was beautiful, but it isn't beautiful. Something which is ugly, but which has its magic in Berlin, which calls me to that city, wherever I am.
I don't understand well the question. What I can miss from my country home?
Your personal.
Proper, I don't missing nothing, no. But I can appreciate some things that can to attract me, or I can enjoy, no. Like weather. The weather is excellent, no. Yeah. The gentleness of people are good and bad everywhere, no, but they are very gentle. Yeah.
I'm very happy when we get some guests from Bulgaria because they bring me this energy, and I miss my country, and I'm sure that one day I'll go back. Let's make money. What should turn on this the last part? Sputnik Kino in Kreuzberg, and this is the highest kino in Berlin. I work here and I love my job. I've been working in another cinema in Erlangen. This is a smaller town in Bavaria. You should watch out for it. Once I got off the train and I was on the main railway station in Berlin, and it was nice weather, somehow the sun was shining, and I was looking around and I was watching people's faces, and I looked at this woman. She was laughing. I looked at some children. They were laughing. Everybody had this smile. Everybody had the smile on his face, and I thought, like, this cannot be it.
And I can miss communication as well, no? From when I coming from is from the past, that already the country take the very international way, and you find different kinds of languages.
My name's Raha. I've recently just moved to Berlin. I moved to Berlin because of work reasons. I'm starting a new job here as a management consultant, and I'm actually from London. I lived there for about 15 years now. Even though I was born in Germany, so I'm sort of coming back to the old German roots. I've grown up in London for most part of my life, for the last 15 years. It's also a place where I went to university. I did mechanical engineering at Imperial College. But I do have German roots. I was born in Germany, though not in Berlin, near Frankfurt. And I feel like this is sort of a homecoming. My roots, my true roots, I guess from my parents' side, I'm Iranian, although I've never actually visited the country, so that's still on the to-do list. I guess the one thing I don't particularly like about Berlin, which is partly, I think, really little to do with the town itself, but more living in Germany. Coming from London, I'm really used to living in a very international city where you literally walk through the most busy streets and you hear so many different languages, and you realize that actually none of them are tourists, they're actual Londoners that live there, and it's one of the things I've missed in Germany. It's a bit less dominant in Berlin because there is so many different cultures here, but I miss that really multi-internationalness of feeling that you don't have a nationality, but the city is your nationality.
And that thing of communication, actually I can say that I really miss it, but should be in foreign country.